Got this. Okay. We're just pausing the music. I can't fade it out by myself. Happy Monday, everybody. Hello. Looking over in the chat, seeing all my friends over there. Well, you can see I am at the store. I've got my Niche Lady merch on, representing, and we're not getting shop done today. We're getting stuff done today. So you may hear some noise in the background. We are playing a little Tetris, if you will. We are already finding we need more storage space. So there are boxes being moved into my office for things that I am going to process and put over onto wholesale to just sell quickly. But how are you guys? Happy New Year. Oh my gosh. It is January 2nd of 2023. Did everybody have a great New Year's time? I know if you are on the East Coast, you probably are a little cold. We're sitting at about 54 degrees and sunny after a nice rainstorm this weekend. So I get another new item to deal with my landlords about, and that is we have a major roof leak in Jordan does not live with me, in Rachel's side of the room that we kind of share. For those, if this is your first time here, I have like this ongoing saga story that happens, and many of the people that come here kind of already, got the gist of the things. But basically, I'm in another rental where I am a paycheck to the property owners, and they really don't want to take care of things. So we're just like, we're heaping on things with this house that are issues. But yeah, it's all good. It's all good. It kind of goes into what we're going to talk about today too. I titled this, How to Make Your Dreams Come True. So the first thing that I want to see over in the chat is, first of all, who has a dream? And I'm going to tell you, I don't care how old you are. I don't want any of the negative thinking right now. All I want you to do is focus on whether or not you have a dream of something that you want to make happen in your life. Do you have a dream? And let's see. We've got lag. So, okay. Always. I got a me. Let's go. Yes, I like it. Okay. Because that's the first step. So often you hear people start talking about this stuff, but if you don't have a dream to begin with, how are you going to make a dream come true? How are you going to get there? You got to start with the dream. And I think there's some of you out there who are afraid to dream. It is, I guess it's happened during my lifetime where we just had this wave of maybe like an awakening kind of a thing, realizing sometimes how dysfunctional our childhoods were, how much negative speak carried into our adult life. It takes generations sometimes to discover these things. And I know my family, it's been generational, and we are all works in progress, but we're not works in progress because we want to make somebody else happy. So that's the first thing to get off your plate. We don't want to become something for somebody else. We want to work on ourselves so our own lives are more fulfilling, so that we feel confident in going for those things that we want and all of that. So too often we get into these conversations and the foundation isn't laid, that, there's some stuff that has to be peeled away in order for you to even feel like you deserve to have a dream and go for your dream. Am I resonating with anybody? got to find your tribe. That's exactly right. You've got to be around people who encourage and support you. But there's always a but, right? That's not always easy to find either if you have crazy dreams. I have crazy dreams. I do crazy wackadoodle stuff. And I have had a lifetime of people around me telling me that that's crazy and you can't do that and you don't have the money to do that. And, talk to me in 10 years and all of that. So even though some of those people I love and adore and they're like, they don't have your vision and they're not inside of your psyche and they don't know what you're capable of. That's why you have to believe that you're capable of, no matter what anybody around you is telling you. I think one of my big influences growing up was Walt Disney. So I really studied the story behind Disneyland. I was fascinated by Disneyland. And Walt Disney was a man who would not take no for an answer. Like he got a no here, he went over here, and he got a no here and he went over here, and he did whatever it took to get his dream to become reality. And if he had listened to everybody telling him that what you want to do is crazy, we would not have Disneyland. We would not have Disney World. We would not have Bambi and Dumbo and Aristocats and Jungle Book. We wouldn't have any kid. Who can imagine a life without Disney? Like it's part of our DNA. Like, Disney is bigger than life, but it was one man's dream. It's one man's dream. And I'm telling you guys, there is nothing that you can't do if you set your mind to it. Nothing. I mean, you guys are probably sitting there trying to come up with something. Let me see. Give me an example in the chat of something you think that would just be an absolute like fantasy can't do. Prove me wrong. So, Gwenya, I'm going to tell you, I hear the pain in your voice, and through your writing. She says, I have a dream to find a doctor that gives a crap. I'm in agonizing pain all the time. So, find that doctor, because I would suspect that there's some issues with having to go where your insurance says you have to go, or things are like, it's, I can only go to one that's in this part of town. So don't limit yourself. If that is your dream, if that is a huge part of your life, then you have to find a way to make that happen, because that doctor's out there. That doctor is out there to help you, but you've got to uncover some of the obstacles to get there. Let's see. Looking through the chat here. Went to a keynote talk and they told the story of putting the sod up the day before they opened. Oh, for Disneyland. Disneyland's an amazing story. Like there was no stopping that guy. He was going for it. And it wasn't perfect when it opened. Disneyland was not like what it would become, but he continued his vision and his dream. Like he had it in his head what he wanted it to be. That's why I say, like, that is such an influence on my life, because I love my store that opened, but is it complete? Is it exactly the way I want it yet? No, there's bigger and better things in store. Some of the people around me know some of those things. I talk about them, but rest assured, the good stuff has only just begun. It's only just begun. Let's see, 50,000 subs by next New Year's. Where are you at right now, Hudson Vintage? What is your number right now? Because it's important to be realistic too. Like set a fairly unrealistic goal for my subs. I wanted to be at 100K by my birthday. It didn't happen. I'm still about 22,000 off of that. But now I know for sure I'm going to reach it this year. So you just got to make sure that it's a feasible number. So your family says your dream to be a reseller is bad. But despite what they say, I'm doing it. I enjoy and have paid off my credit card, my car, and all debt. Angie's Oddities, that is fantastic. And again, like I don't understand why reselling gets the stigma that it does. I mean, I went through the same thing. I got told that I would never make a significant amount of money reselling, that I would never amount to anything reselling, that my money didn't matter, all of that. Trust me, I get it. I've been there. And you've got to drown that out because you know the reality. You know the reality is that reselling makes it possible for you to pay off your credit card and your car and all of your debt. So, and if they can't see that, then there's the problem. Like, what the heck? Here's living proof. Living proof. Let's see. Yeah, right, Marty H. I grew up close to Disneyland also. We only went once a year. And it was just, I just remember in my childhood, it was just a magical night every year that we got to go to Disneyland. I remember the butterflies in my stomach driving to the park. It was phenomenal. Yeah, now it's a little rough. They have, the corporate greed has taken a little bit of control over Disneyland for sure. Let's see. I love that you guys are giving also the advice on the whole doctor thing. Yeah. Okay, Megan says, I really dream of building my house for family and husband to have his goals so we live like normally. So, Megan, what needs to happen for you to realize that dream? So you want to build your own home. So there's steps to that. So obviously there's financial steps to that, but there's also planning. You have to find the land. And then, so have you started looking? Because that's the thing. I want to buy a house. I would love to buy a house this year. I'm not sure if it's feasible. I'm talking to mortgage brokers. But to keep that dream like in front of me, I'm looking at houses. I'm going to Zillow. I'm seeing what's out there. I'm looking at the mortgage calculators and seeing, like, I know what I can afford. It's convincing the mortgage brokers that you can afford what you can afford and all of that. But starting with, like, where do you want that plot of land? What do you want your scenery to look like? How close do you want your neighbors? Like, start there. Start at the little base level, because dreams don't happen like poof and everything falls in place. That's what I really want to talk about. Dreams happen with work. With you've got to make the dreams happen. You know, I had a Facebook memory come up that said that I had started a job as the niche lady 3 years ago. Like, that's when I rebranded myself. I'd been on YouTube. I'd been on social media. I'd been helping people with eBay. I was doing all of that for many, many years. But the day I decided to rebrand myself as the niche lady and start doing the daily content and all of that was only 3 years ago. And I can tell you my life has changed so much since then. And I mean, I opened a store without a partner and without a loan. Like, YouTube/reselling did that for me. But there was a lot of work that went into it, a lot of work. So that's what you have to lay out is, and I know everybody talks about goals this time of year, but really I look at it differently. It's like, yeah, I can write down goals, blah, 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 but I want to write down my dreams. I'm a big, big advocate of making a dream board. Anybody here do that? Anybody do a dream board? I'm really behind in the chat too. I apologize. Let's see. I see Sunny Las Vegas snuck into our chat. Who let him in? So Beth wants, her goal is to get a used car. Says it's not beyond my reach, but it's all up to me. Okay. Yep. Run with it. Vision boards are cheesy, but it keeps me on my path. Well, I will tell you, there's a lot of studies that have been done on visualization. It's how our brains work. If you, again, and I've talked about this before, our brains are all of these little channels, and you just picture it. There's little diggers in there. There's little diggers in your brain, and they're deciding the paths to dig deeper and the paths to keep shallower. And if you focus on something that is not productive to your life, that is negative, and you got those diggers in there scooping out that channel, guess what? That's where things are going to go. But if you're fighting that and you are giving bonuses to the guys who are digging the good channels, who are digging the dream channels, who are digging the positive channels in your brain, that's what's going to be easier and easier for your brain to focus on. And I know I put this in very simplistic terms, but I know if you're like me and you kind of can visualize things like that, for me, that was like, oh, I've got to take care of those guys who are digging the good channels. And they need to like beat the other guys up with their shovels that are trying to go down the negative paths. And it can be a battle sometimes, but really it's like a muscle. If you exercise it, it gets stronger. It works. It really, really does, guys. I mean, I don't know that I've ever shared this, but when my oldest daughter was 3, she might have only been 2 or 3. She was little. I was a single mom. She is now 38. I think she's 38, 37, 38. Gosh, I'm losing track of time. 38, 37. I don't know. That's terrible. You know, once you get past the 30, you don't keep track of the years. Anyway, so this was many, many years ago. I was a single mom and I was so depressed. I went to the doctor, because I was tired and just, those of you who deal with depression, that really deep, dark place I'm talking about. It's ugly. It looks like, there is no reason to go on, that kind of a place. So I did go to the doctor, and the doctor gave me Valium. He sent me home with Valium, which I didn't know any better. And I took one, and I can tell you, I feel like I lost 2 or 3 days of my life. And it really kind of zapped me into gear, because I was like, I love my daughter, and I loved my daughter back then. And it just, the thought that something horrible could have happened, because I was so out of it. And that was really the time in my life when I decided that I didn't want to go down that path and I needed help. And I started the whole, self-help positivity journey. And it's been a long journey, and I've gone to a lot of talks and studies. And I found one of my very first psychologists he was giving a talk at a college, and I asked him if he did, private appointments, and he did. And he was phenomenal. It got a little weird that he went on and wrote a book about alien abductions. So now I'm wondering, I think he went a little off the deep end. Does that happen to psychologists? Does that happen to people in that profession? But he gave me a lot of really good information until we got to that point in his life. You use coffee as an antidepressant. I'm not sure that qualifies, but you know what? If it makes you happy. But truly, the biggest thing, and those around me know me, I am super, super anti pharmaceuticals. Yes, will I take a medication if I need to, if it's, if it's gonna do me some good, and like I have had times, but I'm very, very much in favor of trying other things until I get to having to take a medication, because I don't trust our whole pharmaceutical industry. I don't trust, again, just like Disneyland and all its price raising and all that. It used to be a magical thing, and they turned it into this greedy thing, and that happens now in everything. So I do a lot of my own homework on what are the alternatives that I can do versus having to take a drug every day, like for the rest of my life. I have Crohn's disease. Most people with Crohn's disease are dependent on medications to manage it. I studied voraciously on what are the triggers, what's healing, all of this. So I have a very, very regimented nutritional path that I take so that I don't have to take drugs. Will I at some point in my life? It's very possible, but for now, I'm gonna hold it off as long as I can. So it's really be your own best advocate. Don't just trust what somebody who's selling something is telling you. Trust yourself. Trust yourself. And this is coming from someone who never trusted herself. I still go through periods of this extreme self-doubt, and I swear that it's just, I feel like there's like a person sitting on my bed, at the edge of my bed, saying, nope, bad idea. Nope, you're crazy. I think, I don't know if Jordan's on here. I think I actually cried on the phone with Jordan one night, and I said, what have I done? Because I invested my entire life savings into the store, and there were some things that were not going so pretty when I was trying to get this all up and running. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what have I done? It was a little overwhelming, but I am able to go through that moment and then step back and go, wait a minute. It's all good. You got this. Speed bumps, problems to solve. We can get through this. Who got in trouble with me? What did you do to get in trouble? Who got in trouble with me? Wait a minute. What did I miss? What did I miss? Are you talking to Sunny? Sunny's he's the little brother who's, always in trouble with the big sister. No, Sunny is amazing. I finally got to go shopping with Sunny again this weekend, which was super awesome. Yeah. So Linda says vitamin D is great for depression and dark, gloomy days. So a little known fact is we have a crisis in this country of vitamin D deficiency. I don't know if anybody else has studied up on this, is like we are a severely vitamin D deficient society. And when you are deficient of vitamin D, it causes all kinds of problems, because it's also one of the supplements that's responsible for helping all those little snaps in your brain fire correctly. So I mean, my grandmother had Alzheimer's. And so, that's when I started like looking at like, oh, what are the causes? Because it scares me. I don't want that. And if it runs in my family, I want to do everything in my power to try to ward that off. And so they're saying that vitamin D deficiency can lead to brain fog and some of the things that now lead into the symptoms of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. So yeah, so the other problem with Crohn's is absorption of nutrients. So a lot of things that I go through are because I'm like, I am malnourished. It's a thing. I go out in the sun to get my vitamin D, because that is the best way to absorb vitamin D is from the sunshine. But then there's that balance. You don't want to get sunburned. You don't want to, get too much that can cause skin cancer and all that stuff. So I don't put any sunscreens on. I go get some sun. So that's been really good for me because I don't absorb it. I can take it all day. Like I was up to doctors were having me take 50,000 IUs a day. and I still was low. So yeah, it's a thing. So that it's something to do. There's home tests now that you can get for your vitamin D levels too. But stay on top of your vitamin D. Like that'll help if you are one of those people who is going through some depression, who is just struggling, with some gloom, especially if you're in a place where the sun doesn't come out very much this time of year. I mean, seasonal depression is a thing. It is a thing. And just be aware of that. And you guys, I think the other thing is you're so hard on yourselves. Like, you expect yourself to be perfect. You expect things to get done. Like right now, today, it should all be fixed. Otherwise, you call yourself dumb and unworthy and all of these like ugly things that you tell yourself. You have to stop that. You just stop that. Oh, Mary, you got the Crohn's diagnosis in April of 22. Inspired me to quit my corporate job and start reselling. Yeah. It's because it's so, what most people don't understand about Crohn's is it's really hard to work a traditional job where you're expected to, either sit at a desk or be at a station or something, because you may not be able to wait until your timed break for things, or you may wake up in the morning completely unable to function for a while. So it's really hard to hold a real job. But with reselling, we make our own schedules. We have our flexibility. Flexibility for me is everything. Less stress. Yes. Right. You can overdose on vitamin D too if you take too much, for sure. So you have to be careful of that. Yeah. Okay, let's go back to those dreams because I didn't see. Okay. Who has like, you feel like it's an impossible dream? Somebody throw an impossible dream into the comments over there and let's break it down. Let's make it possible. Let's just do it. Yeah, I do confess I'm bad about the water drinking. I'm better about it at the store because it comes in nice little bottles in the refrigerator. I don't know why it's a thing for me. Let's see. This lag thing is like 20 to 30 seconds before you hear me say what I say. Hudson Vintage just upped hers to 100,000 subs. Okay. All right. So 100,000 subs is doable. But I didn't see. What are you at? What are you at right now, Hudson Vintage? I forgot to look and see what you're at right now. Oh, lag is just a thing. So lag, everybody has lag. You're at 13,000. So what I'm going to tell you is realistic. How often are you putting out content? How many days a week? Solve world hunger. All right. So you might not be able to solve the entire problem, but so what do you want to do to make that happen? So a dream, let's break it into things. So there are things you would like to see, like the big scope picture. But then what is the thing that could make that? What problem can you solve? What thing can you do that you maybe don't think you're capable of, but you want to try to do something that works towards making that happen? Because I will tell you, so many of you are so creative and you have ideas on how to fix things, on how to change things, but you stay silent because of fear that somebody's going to say, no, that's stupid, or you're crazy, or no, that'll never work. It's that rejection. So we stay silent when I bet somebody in this chat right now actually has really viable solutions to solve world hunger, but we feel like we don't have a voice. So that dream is about having a voice and then taking your ideas and then go find people or do that thing that will work towards making that happen. So it's just like this business. So my dream was, when I closed my business in 2017, my dream right then and there was that I was going to have another brick and mortar business. At the time, I didn't know what it was, but I was like, I'm going to do it. Now, realize that I was a single mom who had nothing. Okay, I'm holding an answer over here that I'll come back to. I had nothing. I had nothing. I was not the breadwinner. I was the supplementary income from reselling. And I was left in a house that I couldn't afford. So I got evicted from that house because I couldn't pay the rent. And I had a business that had just opened with mountainous bills to pay. And I struggled like for the first 6 months, really thinking I could keep that business alive, and then realizing there was no way. There was no way. And so that business closed, and reselling was all I had. I went and worked at a thrift store. I had a friend at the time who owned a thrift store, and she asked me to come and manage her online department, which I did, which then morphed into managing the entire thrift store. And that I kind of found that was a forte of mine. I really, really, really loved working in that environment, and knowing what I know about the reselling world and knowing what I know about the nonprofit world now. Where I'm at was kind of a natural progression of things to open a thrift store / boutique that supports resellers. And it just came all full circle, where if I hadn't gone through some of that pain, if I had never gone out and gotten that job at the thrift store, I would have never realized the potential that I had for being able to open such a thing. So don't discount the things that happen in your life that seem like unnecessary steps to get where you need to go. Everything is a progression, and learn and grow and decide, like, did I like that? Did I not like that? I was listening to a talk show yesterday. I'm trying to think of the name of the show. I don't know what it was. It just happened to be on the radio, and they were counseling this lady who was a real estate agent, but she was really unhappy being a real estate agent. And they talked to her about, okay, what is it you don't like about what you're doing? And for her, it was she said it was the driving and the amount of time she had to put into it and all that. And they said, well, what do you like about it? And what she liked about it was helping people get into their dream home, and, kind of the things that would be enjoyable about that. And so what he told her was, you know what? It's not the driving. It's not the time. It's the no's. You don't like the no's. You don't want the rejection. But you have to go through the no's to get to the yeses. He says, like, if there's no no's, then there's never going to be a yes. So sometimes we have to go through pieces in our life that are the rejection, that are the no's, that are the ugly, that are the things that we don't want to do, in order to realize the things that we super duper love. And you need to understand what those things are. I mean, how many of you love shipping? There's a few of you out there that love shipping. I know Misty, Thrifter, Junker, Vintage Hunter, loves shipping. I bow to her. I'm okay with shipping, but I don't love shipping. What I love is the treasure hunt, is the, shopping the shelves for the stuff that I know can turn a profit. And it isn't just that it can turn a profit. It's that the ability to make a living on things that I love. When I'm a high school dropout. Yeah, I did go back and I finished, but I was a high school dropout. I was someone who my family said would never, ever amount to anything. I have an older brother who thinks I'm a loser. And I used to care a lot about that. I don't care about that anymore because I know I'm not a loser. So, but those are the things that, like, we just let those things sway us so hard. But you've got to get really firm on what that thing is you want. Okay, so going back, Hudson Vintage, you're at 13,000 subscribers. And so I'm going to assume that's a one. I'm trying to look at what the exclamation point is as a number. I think you meant 1 video and 2 lives. So I would tell you a realistic goal for your subscription rate to go up this year, if you don't do anything different, is probably closer to the 20,000 range. Now, if you really, really care about that subscription number, you can add a video. You can add, even if you do like shorts are really good for getting subscribers. But in order to reach a bigger goal, you've got to do bigger things. So if the dream is that number of subscribers, then you have to look at what's happened thus far, what's the actual data to support what you need to do going forward. So look at how much your video generates in subscribers and then kind of do the math. Oh, then I've got to add another video that's going to add X amount of subscribers and that kind of a thing. But to just expect that it's going to grow to that number without doing some work is probably unrealistic. And we all know SMART goals have to be realistic. What is it? Specific, measurable, attainable. What's the R? Didn't I just say it? What's the R? What's the R in SMART goals? And T is, R is realistic. I just said it. And then the T is timely. So that's how you truly set a goal. I knew it was real. I just said it. That was so crazy that I just said it. But you have to know making videos is time intensive. So instead of having your eye on the subscriber number, here's what I'm going to tell you. Don't watch the subscriber number. That'll drive you crazy because in the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's not the subscriber number that equates to revenue, whether it come from YouTube monetization or reselling. It has nothing to do with your subscribers. It has everything to do with who's showing up to watch you, participate, sit through some commercials for you. That's the more important thing. And that you have a lot of control over by just really making sure you're putting out the content that people are enjoying watching. So I love that kind of a dream. And I would say your dream's bigger than that. I want to go bigger than that with your dream. Because the dream I'm thinking for you is not the number, but what that number would do for you. What's the thing that you think that reaching 50,000 subscribers would equate to? What is that? That's the dream. Sonny's got his eye on food right now. But for YouTube, my eyes are where my heart is with those who stop by when they can and send good vibes. Aw, Sonny. What kind of food? I'm kind of hungry. I have an hour in between when I finish this and do my whatnot sale. I have 1 hour to eat some food. It's probably not going to be very good. I never watch my subs because I just started and it's very small. I try to have fun and be, Melanie's onto something. Having fun, being creative, that is what will grow that number. It's like a watched pot never boils, right? Like you can sit there and watch that pot. I mean, it'll eventually boil, but not because you watched it. Shrimp skewers and white rice. Oh, it sounds so good. Oh, yeah. My brother and I'm telling you, I have a very dysfunctional family. I don't have a relationship with my older or younger brother anymore, or my oldest daughter. Like we just different worlds that we live in. And I won't go into details. There's some really ugly stuff in my family. And that is why I think the whole aspect of having my friends here and having a family that I've put together, people who want to be part of what I'm doing and in my life, and we're all supportive of each other. And I truly call Sunny and Mikey my little brothers, and Carrie is like a sister, and Tiffany is my other sister. And it's just, it really, really, really is this family affair. And Rebecca, who manages the store, and her and I have started getting very, very close, and you know, we share so much together, and we have just connected on a new level, and it's just been really, really amazing having this all put together. So, and that's, I know so many of you, I share this transparently because I know I'm not alone. I know that so often you see somebody on the TV or a big YouTuber or something, and you think that this picture of everything they put out there, everything is so hunky-dory in their life, and you wish you could have what they have. But I will tell you, there's skeletons, there's dark stuff, there's ugly stuff behind the scenes. And I don't want to put it out there as, well, I've talked about it. I don't like to feed the negative. I like to feed the positive. I like to show what life can be like if you work through the stuff. So that is why I tell you that stuff is there to be worked through, but I'm not gonna give it energy. I'm not going to give it the little extra titanium shovels, you know, in the brain. Because sometimes there's just because you're blood family does not mean that it's okay to have the interactions that you have. Like, and it's okay. It's okay to make sure your life is healthy for you. Your whole focus on YouTube is to just try and become more and more helpful to people who want to do what Melody and I do. Feel like if I do that, the subs and views will take care of themselves. That 100% Cha-Ching King. I'm going to put that up there so that my Facebook people can read that too. That is absolutely correct. If you keep your eye on, in my opinion, if you keep your eye on serving others, the rest will come. It will follow. Do you need to do a little analysis? And yes, you do, because it is a business too. But if you, and I've always said this to new YouTubers going out there and everything, do not try to be something that you're not. And honest to gosh, that is advice I got when I was doing the Vegas Video Network show. My director is a brilliant man, and a lot of what I learned from him is what I like to share and pass on, because it really is what helped me. And that is, don't try to be something you're not. If you are not funny, do not try to be funny. If you are not serious, don't try to be serious. If you are not happy, don't try to be happy, because people are going to see through that. So you really have to be unapologetically who you are, and you will have people who either love or hate you. If you have too much of that middle ground, then something's not right. You know what you want people to either love or hate you. Like, that's honestly, that's what it's all about. And yes, I have many haters. They email and message me and post comments every day. And I'm okay with that. Oh, let's see where we going in the chat here. I would absolutely love to have my oldest daughter in my life, but she has made a choice. I'm here. I have always told her I am here for her. I love her. I support her. I wish her nothing but absolute phenomenal happiness in her life. But at the same time, I won't take abusive behavior from her. So therefore, when she's ready, I'm here. But I also will not live in the past, because I was a crappy mother to her. I will come right out here publicly and say it. I was 17 years old. I did not even know how to be a mother. And so, yeah, I made a lot of mistakes, but I feel that I have made those amends. I have taken responsibility, but that's all I can do. Can't live in the past, can only live here moving forward. Cha-chinking, that cracks me up. I'm barely any good at being me. I'm pretty sure I'd fail trying to be someone else. That's awesome. That's awesome. So Patty's Garden Vintage. So what are you doing to make your dream a reality? What makes you feel like, or maybe you don't, maybe I'm putting words in your mouth here, but so my big dream has always been to have enough money to work with causes and become an entrepreneur that helps others obtain their goals. What is stopping you from that right now? Because it isn't always about money. It's not always about money. So what is stopping you from working with causes and becoming an entrepreneur? Let's analyze this. What is stopping you right now? What is the roadblock in your way? What is that thinking that's making you think that that is a big dream that is hard to reach? I do go back and I review the chat because I feel like it would be rude for me to sit here and just read chat. It would look like I'm not even engaging with you guys. So that's why you kind of see my eyes dart, to both places. Oh, Hudson Vintage. Oh, girl. You know what? They don't matter. They're great. They watch your videos still. But I learned this early on, and I only learned this because I had good mentors who had already been past this point. So if I can help you with nothing else, it is to learn how to use that hide from channel button faster than you can blink your eyes. And don't even bother with it. Don't respond. Don't give them energy. These are people who are hurting in their lives themselves. And that's how you have to look at it. It's not about you. It's about them and how miserable they are that they have to say things that are ugly and hurtful and hateful. And if you're, see, here's the thing. If you're reading that and going, oh my gosh, either they're right or what if they're right? Because usually it targets something we're already sensitive about. And then we take that in. And then we give an extra shovel to the guy on the negative channel. And instead, you got to flip a gear and go, nope, I reject that. Not true, not happening. And work on feeding the positive channel. But yeah, don't let them win. If that is causing you to hold back, you're letting them win. You're giving them power. Yeah, take it away from them. Take it away. Let me see. Lots of comments here. Lots and lots of comments. Yeah, we cannot live in the past. You can't go back and redone what's been done. You can't do it. That is impossible. You cannot go back and redo something that's already done. All you can do is go from today and make today a better day. And I will tell you, it is a process, guys. It is not an overnight, I can just change my way of thinking. I can just change everything. This is what I really want you to hear, is it's an everyday, sometime every hour, just redirecting the way your brain is channeling thoughts and trying to solve a problem. Is it going to the I can't, or is it going to how can I? See, it's just that little shift right there. And I drive people crazy sometimes because I kind of reject I can't. I don't want to hear I can't. I want to hear how could we? Give me some ideas. Let's problem solve this. Let's come up with an answer of something, and don't put all of the things on it, like the cost and the time and the strength or whatever it would be. Don't put that on it. That's a secondary problem. First, look at the, how could this be solved? How could we make it to this? And if it, then you break it down. Okay, does it require strength that I don't have? Okay, who can I get to help me? Who can I hire? What tool could I use? Do I need a dolly or a crowbar or something? If it's a money thing, then it's like, okay, then how do I save up the money? How much of, each sale could I put aside until I reach the goal amount? Again, that's a SMART goal. The amount, the time you need to acquire it, is it realistic, and all of that. That's how you make those happen. So I just want to say, Carol M. So yes, we can't all be Bill Gates for charity, but your $100 a month, I'm going to tell you right now, as somebody who works with multiple nonprofits, that $100 a month is so impactful, so impactful. And what you have to realize is if you're one person doing that, what if there's 100 people doing that? Put that number together. That's a big number. Even if it's $10 a month, 100 people doing $10 a month is $1,000 a month. Yes, I did math right on the spot. That's $1,000 a month. That's impactful. So never think that your $100 is just $100. That is a big, big win for whatever nonprofit that you are donating that to. It's huge. It's huge. So give yourself that win. I talked about this in my video yesterday. You've got to give yourself the wins. Oh, a lot of YouTubers struggle with haters. Nobody likes to hear bad things about themselves. That's bullying. Number one, bullying has a big effect on you, especially if it hits something that you're already self-conscious about. Like my hair. I'm super self-conscious about my hair, but I don't know what to do with it because it is just literally paper thin, and I can brush it, and then in like 5 minutes, it's like, looks like I didn't do anything. And I cut it as short as I'm willing to go right now. I don't want to cut it off. I know what to. So Brenna says, I've hardly used social media, to be honest, all because of being insecure of what people would say about me. I miss a lot of opportunities due to this, though. It's time for a change. Yes. So I know a lot of people don't like Gary V's mouth. Like, he does tend to throw a lot of F-bombs out there. And I'm not a big fan of it, but his message is so powerful in that he says, stop with the caring what everybody else thinks about you. Because at the end of the day, they don't have to live in your skin. You have to live in your skin. And if you are happy with who you are and how you act and how you do things, that is what truly matters. So we have to stop letting other people's judgment stop us from moving forward and doing the things that we want to do. And it's not easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's time to start giving the little guys up there that are just maybe now just even drawing the lines for where that channel's gonna go in your brain. Give them the power. Give them the titanium shovels. Start encouraging them every single day. Do something that encourages them to dig that channel deeper. And I'm gonna tell you, it will happen. 150%, mark my words. Go back and watch this in a year if you practice this, and you're going to go, oh my gosh, she was right. I am handling this so much different, and it's just coming more natural to handle it different because I fed the good little guys, and I starved the little monsters over on the other side that were trying to dig. Let me see. Let me catch up over here. So reselling, you guys, is an amazing way to make money. And I know I have a lot of resellers who watch me, and I'm seeing a lot of your dreams are around money, financial, having the money to do things. I know money kind of like rules the world. But I can tell you, this is why I'm the niche lady. It's because if you find that niche, if you find that piece in the reselling world that makes you want to wake up and do your thing every single day, that number one is feeding the positive channels. It's number two, it's going to put that energy into your listings, into your photography, into your shipping. You're going to be happy about what you're doing. So find that channel that just brings you joy to get up and go for it and do more, because then it's not feeling like more work. And then the more you do, the more the money will flow in, and the more you talk to people and they get to know you for a certain niche. And then the marketing just kind of goes out and it builds your tribe. Everything we've talked about will happen. And I talk to people every single day that now have 6-figure reselling businesses, because they finally found like their happy place in reselling. And if you're watching things and going, oh, he sells potato chips and makes, $100,000 a year selling potato chips, and you try to do that and you absolutely hate potato chips, it's not going to happen. You're going to resent what you do. You're going to find reasons not to do your work every day, and you'll be miserable. But I don't have anything around me. No, there's nothing around me that I could pull up. Okay. But if you love beanie hats, and you are like all about the beanie hats, and you are attracted to finding the beanie hats in every place you go to find stuff to sell, and you're just like excited, and you can go out there and talk about beanie hats. I don't know, make TikTok reels about different places you wear beanie hats, and wear silly beanie hats, and get other people to wear. Do you see where I'm going? Now you build a following that gets excited about beanie hats, and they're going to come buy their beanie hat from you. And it's just, that's how you blow this thing up. That's how you blow it up. Oh my gosh, it's almost 2:00 already. Where did that time go? You just want to sell everything, and your 5 storage units still buying will need 1 more unit. Well, storage units cost money, and you might have gotten a really great deal on that stuff that you put in that storage unit. But now all of your profits are going into paying rent on a storage unit. So what you might want to consider is a bulk sale to somebody. Bulk sale. Clear that from your plate so you can go do what you enjoy doing. Because I bet you're probably not really enjoying pulling stuff out of the storage unit. You're not excited about it anymore. And it's kind of a drag to get it listed and all that stuff. So maybe you need to let it go so you can start fresh. Right, Carol? Yeah, she says, I found 3 gorgeous chenille pillow shams today, and I thought I was looking at the pot of gold. I love them so much. Yeah, embrace that feeling in this business. Those are your wins, too. Those are the things that at the end of the day, you look and say, oh my gosh, I found that treasure. I got 3 listings up, because you're excited about getting those things home and getting them listed too, right? So I'm starting something new next week. Oh, I'm so excited about this. So I know I've always, gone out and shopping and stuff, but I am now being more intentional. My Saturday morning yard sailing, estate sailing trips, my new thing. I'm putting this out here, guys. I am declaring it. It's going to happen. So my new thing is going to be, I'm going to shop it on Saturday mornings. And the video will come out on Tuesdays. And by the time the video is out, I will have those items listed in my eBay store. There it is. I put it out there. Now I'm held accountable because I have said it. But I am going to make that happen. That is my big New Year goal is, and I have help to do this. What's really making this possible is my amazing film crew is going to be going with me on those shopping trips. They are the people who have one of the spaces here at the Good Stuff Thrift Store. So now you're going to be able to see the things that they're finding to put in their booth. And then they're going to start doing whatnot sales with their stuff. I'm still going to do whatnot sales, of course, but then I'm going to start targeting those better items for eBay again, which I kind of slowed down on because I wasn't listing. So all of this coming full circle, and it's going to happen. My eBay is utterly good stuff. I have a link to my eBay in every single video description, but my eBay has been suffering. My eBay has been a little neglected, and it's going to get picked back up this year. And I'm also going to be revealing the place where I list my plush. That is going to happen as well, because I'm going to get the plush up and running again as well. So super exciting stuff happening. Again, I am going to continue doing my whatnot sales. I'm doing one at 3 p.m., which is just 1 hour from now. So I hope to see you all over there. And again, if you have not signed up yet for whatnot, why not? It's a super, super, super fun place. If you're a reseller, I'm going to encourage you to consider using whatnot as another place to sell, because it is in its baby stages and it's only going to get better and better and better. And I am really, really enjoying whatnot now. If you use the link that Melissa's going to put over here in the chat, you can get $15 to just come over and shop on whatnot if it's your first time signing up. And if you want to be a seller, there is a separate link. So make sure if you want to be a seller, you use my link, because it will fast track you. It will help you get that approval, because you do have to go through an approval process. All right, everybody, I hope to see you all at 3 p.m. over on Whatnot. But also, almost forgot to tell you, there is a new episode of The Good Stuff comes out tonight at 5 p.m. right here on my YouTube channel. Be watching for that. Make sure you're subscribed and you've got your notifications set up so you get all the bells and whistles, and keep following along. And I will continue to keep encouraging you guys through this process. We will check in again at the end of the year and see how good your good shovel guys did from what we talked about today. I'll take note. I know who you are. All right. With that, everyone, go be profitable and make it fun. We'll see you on the next one.